Hi guys, it's Graham again and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another book haul for you. So I'm going to subtitle this book haul the My Car Passed Its MOT So I Celebrated book haul. Because my car passed its MOT and I celebrated by buying books. My car went in for its MOT on the 31st of August and it passed. There was nothing wrong with it and yeah, the car hadn't moved pretty much the entirety of lockdown and it had a full service back in February, so yeah. But I'd saved up lots of money for it and yeah, I didn't need it all, so I spent some of it, a lot of it, on books and stuff. I've got 6 books to show you. I am so excited to get to these. So the first book that I got is this. And it's The Woman on the Orient Express, a novel by Lindsay, Jayne, Ashford. Now, I was recommended to get this book by Julie over at the Hungry Bookworm because this book has Agatha Christie in it as a character, and that's everything, and I can't wait to get to this. Let me read the back to you. Betrayals, secrets, and a journey that changed 3 lives forever. Hoping to make a clean break from a fractured marriage, Agatha Christie boards the Orient Express in disguise. But unlike her famous detective Hercule Poirot, she can't neatly unravel the mysteries that she encounters on this fateful journey. Agatha isn't the only passenger on board with secrets. Her cabin mate, Catherine Keeling's first marriage ended in tragedy, propelling her towards a second relationship mired in deceit. Nancy Nelson, newly married but carrying another man's child, is desperate to conceal a pregnancy and teeters on the brink of utter despair. Each woman hides her past from the others, ferociously guarding her secrets. But as the train bound for the Middle East speeds down the track, the parallel courses of their lives shift to intersect with lasting repercussions. Filled with evocative imagery, suspense and emotional complexity, The Woman on the Orient Express explores the bonds of sisterhood forged by shared pain and the power of secrets. The fact that Agatha Christie is a character in this book and it's set on the Orient Express, I am so looking forward to getting to this book. But I have lots of other books that I need to read first because my TBR is literally my entire library. But this, I cannot wait to get to. This sounds incredible. So the next one I got is literally a brand new book, hot off the presses, and I saw it and I had to have it. So it's Duty of Care by Dr. Dominic Pimenta, and the tagline for this is One NHS Doctor's Story of Courage and Compassion on the COVID-19 Frontline. So this has literally just come out and it's about the COVID pandemic. On the 8th of February, Dr. Dominic Pimenta encountered his first suspected case of coronavirus. Within a week, he began wearing a mask on the tube, and within a month, he moved over to the intensive care unit to help fight the virus. Duty of Care is the first book to tell the full story of the COVID-19 crisis from someone on the front line, working in one of the NHS's hardest hit areas. From the initial whispers coming out of China and the collective hesitation to class this as a pandemic, to full lockdown and the continued battle to treat whoever came through the doors, Dr. Pimenta tells the heroic stories of how the entire system shifted to tackle this outbreak, and how the staff managed to ultimately save many, many lives. This incredible account captures the shock and surprise, the panic and power of an unprecedented time, and how at this moment of despair, human generosity and kindness prevailed. I am looking so forward to getting to this because I always do kind of like a memoir of, a really important part of history. And I know that we're still currently going through the coronavirus pandemic, but this is recent history, and this will go down in history as, a shifting point in human history. It just will, because of the very nature of what it is. It's a situation that could basically, if unchecked, could wipe out entire communities, the entire population. Hope it doesn't get to that, but yeah, scary. The next one that I got, I heard of about a year or so ago, and these two women were on the Graham Norton show, and they were talking about this book, and it sounded absolutely incredible. So when I saw this, it's just been released in paperback. When I saw this in Tesco's of all places, I had to pick it up. It is The Book of Gutsy Women, Favourite Stories of Courage and Resilience by Hilary Rodham Clinton and Chelsea Clinton. I can't wait to get to this. This is the kind of book that you can dip into. You don't need to read it cover to cover. It's like a series of short stories about these incredible women throughout history, and I'm so excited to get to this. Throughout history and around the globe, women have overcome the toughest resistance imaginable to win victories that have made progress possible for all of us. Civil rights activist Dorothy Height, LGBTQ trailblazer Edie Windsor, and swimmer Diana Nyad kept pushing forward no matter what. Writers like Writers like Rachel Carson and Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie named something no one had dared talk about before. Historian Mary Beard used wit to open doors that were once closed, and Wangari Maathai, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, who sparked a movement to plant trees, understood the power of role modelling. Harriet Tubman and Malala Yousafzai looked fear in the face and persevered. Nearly every single one of these women was fiercely optimistic. They had faith that their actions could make a difference, and they were right. To us, they are all gutsy women, leaders with the courage to stand up to the status quo, ask hard questions, and get the job done. Need I say more? I'm so looking forward to this. It's the kind of book that you can have on your bedside cabinet and dip into whenever the fancy takes you. But the only thing about this is that the print. I have never seen print so small. It is tiny. But anyway, that's why I would read it as a sort of bedtime read. Keep it beside your bed. And yeah, each story is like a couple of pages long, so it's not really very taxing, other than the writing is very small. Yeah. So the next one that I got is T.S. Eliot Selected Poems, and this is the Faber and Faber edition. I'm most unimpressed about this because it was second hand. I got it from the internet, and it's in really poor condition, but it was sold as in like perfect condition. I have been refunded for it. I was told to keep the book as a gesture of goodwill. But it's all been highlighted, so this has clearly been someone's school poetry collection. And usually I like that, but because I was told that this was, it was sold to me as in perfect condition, I'm kind of like, no. So yeah, I will get to this at some point. This selection, which was made by Eliot himself, is intended as an introduction to the main body of his poetry prior to four quartets, which is available separately in Faber paperbacks. The selection includes the whole of The Wasteland, which I have never heard of. But yeah, I hope to get to this soon. Just a bit of a shame that the book isn't in great condition, but anyway. So the next one is a book that, again, I saw online. My mum had a copy of the same copy, not the same copy, but the same edition, when I was a kid, and it was on her bookshelves. I've never read this, but I have seen the movie that was adapted from the book, and it's pretty horrific. It's Flowers in the Attic by Virginia Andrews, and this artwork on the front cover absolutely puts me in mind of David Bowie for some strange reason. But yeah, I look forward to getting to this because my mum like I say, had an edition of this, and she kind of rereads books all the time, and she was always had this book with her, and she was always reading it. So yeah. So you see, children, this house can be hard and relentless in dealing with those who disobey and break our rules. We will dole out food, drink, and shelter, but never kindness, sympathy, or love. Keep to my rules, and you won't feel the bite of my whip, nor will you be deprived of necessities. Dare to disobey me, and you will soon learn all I can do to you, and all I can keep from you. The 4 children had had such perfect lives until their father died. Their beautiful mother was left with no money, and they had to move out of their lovely home in the dead of night and into their grandparents' airless, lifeless attic. Their mother promised they would stay just long enough for her very wealthy, very sick father to leave her a fortune. But by the time he did, she'd forgotten all about how she'd adored her 4 children hidden away in the attic, cared for by a vengeful grandmother, intent on cleansing the sin from these devil children. Days stretched into years of fearful captivity. In their desperate isolation, the teenagers, Kathy and Christopher, and their twin brother and sister were everything to each other. Their mother didn't seem to care about them anymore, but their own deep and abiding love was a solid strength until death came to part them. Flowers in the Attic is a truly memorable novel, and I can't wait to get to it because, yeah, my mind, I can't even speak. My mum adores this, and a few years ago I got her another edition of this because the dogs are barking, and yeah, just let them bark. I hope you can hear that. I hope I'm not just sitting here saying that the dogs are barking and the camera's not picking up the sound, but they are barking, I promise. Yeah, so my mum lost her edition many years ago, and I picked up another edition for her and sent it to her. And then I think I went to look for this online because I had seen that Sophie Carlon was reading an edition of it, and I wanted the edition she had, but when I saw this edition, it just reminded me of my mum and being a kid and looking at the books on my mum's bookshelf. Yeah, so I look forward to getting to this. So the final book in this little book haul is, weirdly, also called The Final Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Now, I believe that this is a collection of stories that weren't originally part of the original Sherlock Holmes canon. There's plays in here, there's poetry, and they're all written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And yeah, that just appeals to me. I absolutely cannot wait to get to this. And it's collected and introduced by Peter Haining, and I shall read you the inside. For many years it has been widely accepted that the complete canon of Sherlock Holmes' adventures by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle consisted of 56 stories and 4 novels. But there have also been persistent numbers of a number of items. Sorry, I shall start that bit again. But there have also been persistent rumours of a number of other items that Conan Doyle wrote about his world-famous detective, and which, for one reason or another, have never been included in the collected works. Now, on the 50th anniversary of the death of Sir Arthur, these missing items, including stories, plays and poems, have at last been unearthed from obscurity and are published together in this volume to provide the final remaining authentic accounts of the Great Sleuth. The Final Adventures of Sherlock Holmes has been assembled after painstaking research in both Britain and America, and is completed with fascinating background details about the items, their original publication, and what new facts they reveal about the great detective. It will undoubtedly be welcomed by every Holmes enthusiast and find a place of honour in Sherlockian libraries throughout the world, for in these pages Sherlock Holmes returns from oblivion. And I can't wait to get to it. I can't wait to get to every book ever, but yeah, there we go. So that is my car passed its MOT and I treated myself book haul. Thank you so much for Thank you so much for watching. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have so much fun doing it. Whatever you're reading, I hope you love it. Stay fabulous, be amazing, be yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye bye.